All right, hey, how's it going, guys? So today I want to talk about showing you how I rigged up my GH4 to have it set up so you could do it for live events, ENG style, weddings, whatever, if it's run and gun type stuff, and like in a studio setting. So really quick, I'll just do it real quick. So what I have set up is this camera will use any type of Panasonic controller. I'll show you here. Yeah, right there, I got a VariZoom. This is for a DVX100, but it will control the zoom here. I don't know if you could see that. Yeah, but it does control the zoom on this Olympus 12 to 50 millimeter zoom lens. Awesome lens. You probably get it used on eBay for about 150 bucks. It's got about a 4.5 inch or 4.5 times zoom, which is good for most things. And if you need more zoom, if you're like shooting in the back of a auditorium or something like that and you're too far away, you could always set it to the telephoto mode. So you could have it so it'll double your zoom. So you could turn that 8.5 into, or it's like 4.2 times zoom, but you could turn that into an 8.4 times zoom under the menu system here. So I'm not going to bore you with that. You could figure that out, but if you have any questions, let me know. I could kind of guide you through that. But so also what I have here set up, I don't know if you can see, I got a Tascam DR60D. This will take 2 XLR inputs here. So you could get, if you're getting a house feed from something, or you want to get a 48 volt phantom feed, you could set that into here, feed it into the GH4's mic input out of the camera output here. This Tascam was like 140 bucks brand new on eBay. It's way better than the GH4 accessory that they have, the XLR adapter, because that thing is only good for the GH4, which this thing, I could put it on anything and take it on any DSLR. I could use it as a standalone if I just want to record audio somewhere. I could have this. To me, this is a way better value than going with that Panasonic YAGH something or other, whatever it's called. But I would go with the Tascam, the DR60D, or something, whatever. You could probably find something even better, but I would go with a third party with XLR input. Feed it into the camera. You got XLR input. So yeah, like I was saying, the zoom, any Panasonic compatible zoom controller will work with the GH4 and this lens. Just make sure that it's a Panasonic compatible zoom controller, not a Sony or Canon or JVC, because they will not work with the link system. It has to be Panasonic. They're the oddballs, something to do with some licensing or something like that, I forget, but just make sure and you're good. And one other thing too is if you want to do, the GH4 does have full auto mode. So if you set it to S on the jog dial here, you're essentially now in full auto mode. Just set the S, the shutter, to whatever shutter you want, whether it's a 25th, a 30th, a 60th of a second. Set it to that and it'll adjust everything else. So you could be outdoors, going from inside the church to outside, bright, sunny. It'll adjust the aperture all by itself. It should be enough to go from, I think it goes from f22 to f4.5. So that should be enough. I mean, I would think to cover the lighting conditions of most things. It might not be bright enough, might not be a bright enough lens, fast enough lens to cover a dimly lit church, but at least it'll cover for the most part. So you could have a fully run and gun system here for about $1,000 bucks. I mean, the lens is about 150 bucks used on eBay. This is, probably by the time you're watching this is probably about 100 bucks. And these things are under $1,000 bucks now. So all this for about $1,000 bucks. So it could be a studio camera in a pinch. And I've found that this thing does pretty well auto adjusting for, aperture. If you're setting it to shutter mode to be in full auto, it does a pretty good job adjusting automatically and pretty quickly. It does, if you're doing like a paid gig though, this thing it steps up quite a bit, like the steps in the aperture. So I wouldn't do it on a highly paid gig. If you're doing it for a friend or something like that, for a favor, this will be fine. But yeah, mostly the zoom works great on this. It's not as fast or as slow. It's got a little bit of a speed. You could change the speed a little bit. I don't know if you could see that or not. So here, I'm gonna zoom in as fast as I can here. Sorry about the focus. I'm gonna zoom out as fast as I can. And now I'm gonna zoom in as slow as I can. See when it'll engage this. There we go. This is as slow as it's going. So there is a difference. It does have a little bit of a variable speed. Here I'm zooming out as slow as I can now. Sorry about the focus. But it does have variable speed. It's not as good as like a UX90's variable speed. Like, check out my review on the UX90. I love the variable speed on this camera, which, you know, it may not be important to you what type of jobs you do, but for me, I love it, and I would never go back to a camera that didn't have this kind of zoom speed range. But yeah, this, in a pinch, you can make this into a studio camera. So thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to help out. Hopefully this was helpful, and if not, sorry for wasting your time. Take it easy.